Dates in Python are not independent data types. When working with dates in Python programming, you can import modules such as datetime or calendar modules or any other relevant modules. And these are actually classes or objects. In today's video, we'll be exploring Python dates and other relevant modules. Stick around. And here we have a Jupyter notebook opened up where we've declared this file as Python dates. First thing we're going to do here is to import a regular datetime module. The way you do that is to go with your datetime module. Now you can do it as import datetime, or you can say as DT, import datetime as DT, okay? But let's just keep it basic. Now let us go into basic datetime directory. What are the different modules that could make up a datetime directory? Now, if you print this, you see that within a datetime, you have datetime module, you have all these different functions that you can make a call or reference to. Now, let us call a regular datetime. Now, the way you do that is, let's go with the same thing we have here. Let's come here and let us just pick up just this regular datetime and see what other items are inside that same datetime. So when you run it, you see that you still have some more items inside it. Now, let us begin to explore some of these items that you find within this internal datetime. Now, the first one I want us to try here, let us try .now, and in the same way, let us try out several actually, maybe just 3. So we've tried out .now. Let us try .month. Let us try which other one should we try? Let's just try .year. Okay. So when you run it now, because you're dealing at directory level, you see that this is how far it can go. But if you want to get the actual values, you don't need to use this directory. You can just take out. Let's go. All right, so when you run it, you get this representation. Now, there are other ways you can go about printing this, because as you can see, if you print a regular datetime now, it gives you the actual value of that current datetime. But you can draw a queue from this and just go into printing the months. Okay, so it gives you the exact month number, and you can also print out the year. It gives you the current year. Now, all this is now datetime.now. Okay, it's supposed to give you what is current for now. Just to draw out something here, that these values we're actually printing out are integer values. So if we want to get the type of value that you see coming out here, all these values are being printed out. If you want to run it by the type method, you see that this class is an integer. So that's just something you want to take note of. If you're going to be maybe writing an application for maybe an alarm system, you need to work with some integers, maybe to make some calculations, or depends on what you're working towards, okay? Now, if you would look into the Python datetime documentation, you actually come across a lot of useful information here. You can scroll down. As you can see, these are different methods that you can use. And it's always important to learn how to go through a documentation and try to implement what's there, because really you cannot memorize everything. Okay, as you can see, there's a date method which you can run it by year and by month and by day. Okay, so these are useful information which you can always make reference to. If you scroll down here, you will see that you have this string f time and string p time format codes. Okay, now the string f time is used to convert, using all these as the actual directives in the syntax, which I'll demonstrate in a short while. So you use it to convert your date time to draw out relevant information. Okay, Now, the string p time is just like the string f time, but what it does is the reverse, okay? So first thing is, let us look at the string f time, okay? Still on this, as you can see, if you scroll down, you see lots of useful things you can do here. Now, this percentage J gives you the day of the year. Okay, so imagine if you've gone a basic year should have about 365 days or 366 days as a leap year. So what percentage J does is it extracts the day of the year from the timestamp that you've provided to it. Okay, now percentage W here gives you the week number of the year. Okay, in this case, it is calculating Monday as the first day of the week. Okay, something similar you can get with percentage U here, which is the week of the year, but here it is using Sunday as the first day of the week. The other interesting ones you can use here, as you can see, this W, small w here, is using the weekday as a decimal number. In this case, 0 is Sunday and 6 is Saturday. Okay, so implementing this now, go back to our Jupyter notebook. In this case, we are taking percentage J. Now, if you notice, we're using the same datetime model dot now. Okay, so what it's supposed to do is it's supposed to give you the actual current date. It's just like what you have here. Okay, so what you have here. So from this now, we're going to extract certain information. Okay, now the first information we're extracting here is percentage G, which according to our chart, if you run this, you see it gives you the number of day of that year. Okay, number of day of that year. And in a similar manner, you can extract several other useful information from this. Okay, now to review some of this, as you can see, string file time W gives you the week of the year. Okay, so currently we're in the 36th week of the year, and a year is supposed to have 56 weeks. Okay, keep that in mind. Now here we have string time A, we have small a, we have capital A. Now small a gives you the week, the day of the week. So today is Tuesday. Okay, and it gives you in short spellings. Okay, like TUE. But if it is capital A, it will spell out the day of the week, but it spells it out in full. A similar thing is done when you use small letter b. That one gives you the month you are in. So we are currently in September, okay? But for capital B, it gives you the month of the year, but it gives you in full spellings, okay? All right, now the last one on the list here is percentage P, small p, which gives you whether it's AM or PM. So as I'm speaking to you, it is actually within the PM. So there are lots of other use cases of this, which you can explore from your Python documentation. You know, using this, you can print a simple statement like, you know, today is the, you know, this is supposed to give you the number of day of the year. And this is supposed to give you the current year. As you can see, datetime.now.year. Okay, so if you run this, you just get today is the 249th day of the year 2022. Moving on now, still talking about dates and calendars, we'll talk about the calendar module. And to import the calendar module, you just simply go with the import calendar. Let us print the directory of a calendar. I mean, what is contained inside a calendar? How many modules? Calendar is CALENDAR, by the way. Okay, so if you print that, you see you get a lot of stuff here. So you can simply call out the calendar. Now, this particular module is going to expect some inputs. Okay. Now, if you use your shift and your tab, you see that it's expecting you to feed in some inputs here, and one of them is the year and some other parameters. Now, some of them are compulsory, some are not compulsory. Now here, let us just feed in 2022 and let's run this. If you feed 2022 and run this, it looks a bit muzzled up, okay? So instead of printing out the whole year, you can choose to just print out a month. As you can see, if you scroll up here, you'll see that month is part of what you can access as a module in the calendar. So if you do that, now think about it. You have to supply what that month is, okay? So you see here, you need to supply certain arguments here. Oh, sorry, there was an error here. So that was the reason why I didn't bring out anything. So it's expecting us to supply, look at this, it's expecting us to supply the year and the month, okay? Now these are just some little defaults. So let's just keep this simple. Let's supply the year, let's just supply a month. And when you do that, you get something like this. Let's try to run it as a print statement. And let's see how it comes out in a more organized way. Well, we can also just decide to do the same here. If you don't want to adjust too much, just try to have it organized. Similarly, we can explore some of these models which we have listed under this calendar directory. And let's just print out a few of these models. Here, let's supply a year, and let's supply a month, or 8, or 3, and if we do that, see, now we're getting different calendars depending on what we're printing here. The first one is just the regular month, which is what we're getting here. Now this one also is month, as you can see. Previous month, 3 months. Then here, the third one here is the month calendar, which is the third one. Now, this one is giving you in a vectorized manner, okay? Now, observe something. Look at these two calendars. Look at this one and look at the vector calendar. As you can see, the first week of August here is 1 to 7, okay? Second week is 8 to 14. It continues on to the last week, which is from 29 to 31st. But for the vector format, you see the 29 to 31st. So you have to complete the remaining with 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. That is what is supposed to be here now, that is blank. This blank space will be converted to zeros. Okay. One thing to keep in mind with Python calendars is that the first day of the week, as you can see here, is actually a Monday. Okay, so Python scripts are using Monday as the first day of the week, but you can make a change to that by using the set first day of the week module. And if you are doing that, it means you're running it against the calendar. Now, in this case, 0 here represents Monday, 1 represents Tuesday, and down and on and on and on to Sunday, which is number 6, okay? So if you leave it as 0, Monday will still come out as your first weekday of the month, okay? Now, ignore some of this script which I've written, but if you run this, you see you can print the calendar month similarly, but I just wanted to see when you print as Monday up to Saturday. As you can see, Monday here is 0, Tuesday up to Saturday. So let's just scroll down and see. Monday is 0, Tuesday is 1, on and on and on until 5. Now, the reason why you're seeing that is because for Sunday, I decided to run it as a type, okay, just for us to get the type of the values that are coming out. And as you can see, all these values that are coming out here are integers. They're all integer values. Now, where do we use stuff like this? Maybe if you write a program and you want to just insert some integer values, you know you can get those values using your datetime module, and you can embed your datetime module into your calendar scripts, okay? In a case like this, I don't necessarily have to supply the year. I can just choose to go with datetime.now, okay, .now.year, okay. What I've done here, datetime.now.year. So all what I've done here is going to give me the automatic year that we are dealing with. And if I use the same method here and go with month, it will give me automatic month we are dealing with. And if I print that, if I run that, you see this changes to September 2022, which is the exact month and the exact year. Okay, so that's one basic use case. All right. So also we can look at the Python HTML model. Now this HTML model, HTML by the way means hypertext markup language, and is the language for the web, the World Wide Web, the web programming language. And so the way this works is that within the calendar class, we have this module called HTML. And so if you want to import that, basically, of course, you've imported the calendar module, then one other thing you can do here is to bring in HTML calendar. The way you do that is just as you know, you import the calendar module, then within the calendar, you have the HTML. Now, in this case, I'm setting the first weekday to 0. Now, that's irrelevant, really, because by default, the first weekday is 0, which is a Monday, okay? But if I want to change it to maybe something else, then that will be relevant. Otherwise, you can actually just leave that out, okay? Now, here, let us do some more, add some more codes here. Let us say the current year is 2018, okay? So, of course, default value of this width is 3. Now, let us print something out. What we're printing out is this particular calendar.html. Let us use it to format the year, okay? Let's apply this format year page method and let us supply the year to this. Now, the year, by the way, is 2018. Or if you don't want it this way, we can just use the date time, now dot year, so that it can just give us the current year. Okay, so let's do it this way. And when you do that, you see that it gives you this chunk of HTML code, which you can actually copy out. You can copy this out, and maybe just as a simple example, save it into a notepad file. Save it into a notepad file, and then you can go ahead and access that notepad file. Now, if you're saving it in notepad, you have to save it as maybe index.html, and wherever you save that file, it will open up in a HTML, it will save as a HTML file. So when you click on the HTML file, it opens up in your browser as what you can see here. So here it prints out the year and the whole months that make up that particular year. So this is just one of the ways you can use the HTML calendar module within the calendar class in the Python calendar. Yeah, so that's it for today's video. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button, like this video, comment, and look out for the codes, the sample codes we've used here in the video description on this video. Okay, that's the GitHub link to this video. It's right in the description below, as well as several other videos. Onto the next video. Keep practicing, keep practicing, keep practicing, and you keep getting better. Bye.